New America, California, Los Angeles, agus níos tábhacht di Arís, fáilte go Hollywood. Agus fáilte go show speisialta pop Harry Kellor and the Red Hot Chili Peppers agus an album or I'm With You.
Genuinely, it's one of these weird experiences when you're put in a room with a group of other people, journalists, and say, now you're going to listen to this album and formulate your thoughts. So it's kind of was a sterile way to listen to an album, if you know what I mean. In spite of that, I think everybody sitting there by themselves, there was just a vibe of, this is going to do great things. This is a serious piece of work from...
What reactions were you able to get from the other listeners with their headphones?
Not a lot past the basic energy of everybody. There was a lot of pouting and turning your head to the side, you know, like this kind of vibe. No, it's fantastic. And you know what it is that struck me straight away is if this was like a politician, it would be Obama. I don't even know what your political allegiances are, but it'll transcend all these barriers. You know what I mean? It's not. It's effortlessly funky. It's really cool. It's some melancholy in parts. Kind of got all these beautiful ingredients.
It's like the craziest. Thank you. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah, I feel like disguising myself and putting on the headphones with the next round of journalists.
Yeah, you should do that. You'd be pleasantly surprised.
All right.
Like reinventing yourself. Is that a conscious thing when you go, oh, because we've been off for a little while and taking some time to reinvent, or because it's like it's still you hear it and you go, this is the Red Hot Chili Peppers doing, you know, what they do best. Because it's not reinvention in that sense, is it?
We didn't even have to be conscious about it. I mean, we have a new guitar player.
Yeah.
We know, so we were reinventing whether we liked it or not.
Yeah.
It just was, and it turned out to be a huge boost and blessing and, you know, something really new and exciting.
Yeah.
To have this new musical love affair happening. So.
She's a lover, baby, and a fighter. Should have seen.
Chili Peppers, how you doing, lads?
Very well, thank you.
We bonded over pre-interview banter about my first ever sighting of Red Hot Chili Peppers in Slane. We couldn't quite ascertain what year it was, but it was a glorious happening nonetheless. Do you remember that one?
I do. I remember that very well.
You're saying you're fond of Ireland or Dublin?
Very much so. Yeah, very, very much so. The people there embraced us like really one of I think we've played to our biggest crowds in our own shows in Ireland. Phoenix Park was over 100,000 people, I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
And the Slane Castle shows, and yeah, we've been very fortunate to be embraced by the Irish people.
Amazing place, and I love going there. And when I'm in England, all I want to do is go up to Ireland right away.
Well, album is fantastic. It genuinely is. It's one of those things. I was saying to Anthony and Josh there, when you sit in a room and it's quite a sterile environment, Sean has their headphones on and they're taking notes, and you kind of go, you know. But it's a beautiful piece of work, and I hope you're as proud as everyone was happy to hear it.
We're very pleased. I can say that I am sincerely pleased. My kidneys and my liver and my heart are all very pleased that you like it.
Tell me, baby,
You had to, oh Jesus, now, you know, first time recording the album, the Bonafide member, do you feel like, oh, I better assert myself quickly?
No, not so much. I mean, it was really because, as you said, it took, you know, we really took time to get to know each other musically and play for a long time before we started recording, and we wrote and came up with ideas and jammed, and there was tons of great music happening, and there was never any feeling like something was being not given its full moment, or you know, like there was no, you know, no one had to assert themselves. Everyone was being heard and listened to and respected at all times. And then when it came time to record, you know, we had sort of gotten to know these songs so well that, you know, I think we all considered them our little.
Yeah. Never any need for the face-off too.
Oh, there were face-off.
The face-off was reintroduced and received with open arms by
Yeah,
Josh.
the face-offs were always just fun for everybody.
For anyone who's not aware what the face-off is, it's over to you guys. It's a method of conflict resolution, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, I have a face-off public knowledge.
I think maybe I mentioned it. Yeah, we need a part for a song. We have a good verse, or we have a good chorus, or we need a bridge, or we need an outro. And typically, guitar player, bass player leave the room, find their separate corners, and they, you know, and at the spur of the moment, come up with a part or two, march back into the rehearsal space, and let's try yours, let's try mine, we'll see which one's best, and we'll move forward.
My first face-off, I was like, this is amazing. I mean, just that element is involved in, you know, and it's always fun, you know, like everyone,
You know, when you're like in the creative process, the thing to really nurture and to treasure is your muse when you're making music, whatever it may be, whether it's, you know, your hypnotic state or a person or a spiritual faith or whatever it is, or just like the state that music puts you when you play it and you're reaching for this kind of ecstatic state of playing music, and when you feel it, you know, you kind of start drooling and lose yourself, and you know you're playing something that's beautiful. Finding that, you know, and that state, that is the thing to be true to, and to nurture that magic, like sacred place where music comes from, the source of it, and, and your connection to that. And that's really the thing that we're reaching for when we're making music. But that said, doing that, the most beautiful purpose for me, for it to have, is to touch other people and to communicate with people and to feel like it's an uplifting force in the world, and that it's doing something to make people feel a little bit less lonely. And so that for me is really the aim of the music, you know, is to hopefully make people's hearts feel, you know, happy and feel some love and feel that their burden is a little bit less heavy than it is, you know.
Is it a calculated thing, or just does it resonate? You go, hey, why not? Or is that a label thing? You say, here's our album, it's brilliant, you do the rest.
We all had our own picks for what we thought the first single should be. Okay. And none of us chose that single, but it wasn't a record company thing. Okay. We have similar tastes, and we create music together, but we also have very individual tastes.
Yeah, of course.
And if you would have asked each member in the band what they thought the first single should be, it would have been 4 different answers. So we have some people that we trust, that we work with, like our producer and our manager, and they're very sensitive and caring people when it comes to music, and they're a little out of the box. They're really going to be the last impression that you're going to be left with from a record. I think singles 2, 3, and 4 will be just as important as the first. Yeah, sure. And I think those will be the songs that, you know, you might end up being left with, like Brendan's Death Song or Monarchy of Roses, which both I hope end up being singles.
Monarchy of Roses, track 1. Isn't it? That's right, track 1 of the album? Yeah. Is that kind of opens with a bit of voice distortion? I kind of thought, okay, yeah, why not? That's a first, isn't it?
It actually opens with a train wreck beginning.
Really?
Yeah. Something usually reserved for the end of a song. Yeah. Yeah, I love the noise that happens even before the noise before the noise.
The songwriting process is, you know, it's kind of gone through different stages, and with John you had a great thing going on, and then sometimes it was a solitary thing, and so when John left and Josh comes in, how does that affect the dynamic? What's the songwriting dynamic in the band now?
Well, Josh was not shy about bringing in his ideas, you know, and we were over the moon about that. You know, he's a person who's been working hard at music on his own for a long, long time. So when he came through the door with his incredible assortment and collection of musical instruments, we got right down to business, and you know, he started contributing equally from note 1 until the last note was recorded on the record, which may have been you actually doing backup vocals. Literally the last note on this record will have been recorded by Josh. So I mean, it was exciting, you know, to have a new member, and we needed it. It worked out perfect.
Regardless of
undoubtedly all the elements of our life have contributed to our approach to music. I mean, I feel like, you know, some of the most difficult things in my life through different parts of my life from when I was a very small child made me approach things in a certain way.
Yeah.
And my way pretty much has to be whatever I'm doing, I commit completely, you know?
Yes.
And I remember reading something about Bob Marley when he was young, and where he had a realization that for him, it didn't really matter the sophistication of the music that he was playing, or really the style of music. I mean, he's from Jamaica and he played reggae, but that whatever he did, that he was fully gave his heart completely with no regard to anything except being in the moment of that you know, complete heartfelt expression. And that really hit home to me, because it was just one thing, just natural to my own self. But I think sometimes there's certain things you have, you know, that give certain, you know, some people have a certain, because of the way that they've been brought up or the way they are or whatever they face, they have a certain type of commitment, perhaps born of desperation, perhaps born out of love, perhaps born out of the need for validation, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's something that makes someone really go, you know.
Self? That's probably a question about to say, but if, you know, one standout track from the album at this point in time, it's really chop and change, as they Ethiopia. Okay. Nancy?
Standout track. I have
In the world of sound bites.
Yeah, I have
so many now.
He's an Ethiopia guy.
Okay.
I'm an Annie Wants a Baby guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I have just a huge soft spot in my heart for that song. Everything about it, every bass note, every drum hit, every guitar note, the movement that it goes from in the verse to the chorus, just you know, I don't take credit for the writing of that song. I feel like it just came from space and it gives me chills.
Is that the...
I did, yeah. I attended university, and I had never attended university before.
How was that as an experience?
Outstanding. You know, there were times when I was doing it when it was really difficult, and when I was, you know, like hustling my ass off, because most of these kids that are going to university, like, they go, you know, do their schoolwork and they go out to keggers and stuff and like party, and I was doing schoolwork and like going home to like children and families and, you know, running my life, and as well as having a professional life and doing different projects during that time as well. So it was a real busy, you know, a busy time, and it took a lot of energy for me to do it. But I loved it, and I really reaped a lot of rewards from it. You know?
And what kind of fruition did that bear, like, in terms of the new album?
It just made me a better musician, and, you know, me being a big part of the band, you know, I had more juice to bring to the juice bowl.
Are you still influenced by music?
I suppose not. You know, sometimes being a member of a band, I don't stop and consider how those elements unfold for others, you know, because I'm just kind of wrapped up with my own duties here. But I think even back then, our record company wanted to get rid of us desperately, you know, during those first 3 records, and for some reason, you know, they just couldn't quite let us go. And the minute that they recognized that people were interested in what they were doing, they wanted to suddenly keep us and make us their little pet, and that's when we said, F you. You haven't been keen on us for 3 records. We're going to get out of here. And that's actually when we left EMI. So we struggled through that early process, and really they probably wanted to get rid of us, but just didn't know exactly how to do that.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
Now you were so, you know what I mean, people were looking to you, what are the Chillis doing? It was this mad fusion of sounds. And now that sound is so established and everybody knows, you know, how it's developed, and they've got this big, massive catalogue. When you have taken some time and you're coming back from a hiatus or whatever, do you kind of look around at what other sounds are there, or are you just kind of, we're going to go just do what we feel, irrelevant?
I personally don't like being influenced by contemporary music.
Yeah.
I figure it's currently out there. I don't want to try to